All right, everybody. This was a fun one tonight. This was a really good one tonight. We were really efficient. This is the bounce back we needed after yesterday. We did really well at the plate. We saw 85 pitches. On the other side, we threw 64 to them. So 21 more pitches that we got to see than they got to see. We were back to our hitting ways. We got 7 hits, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Of those 4 strikeouts, 3 of them were looking. One of those, I think, was just kind of getting back into groove of things. But we do still have to work on that. We have to work on not going down on that third strike, not letting that third strike pass us by without giving it a swing. Because again, as we talked about yesterday, that's one full inning of outs that they did not have to make on us. So if we swing and we miss, hey, we swing and we miss, that's good on the pitcher. If we're doing that and we're giving away those outs, those are ultimately runs that we could be scoring. We had multiple kids that saw 8 or more pitches. Tonight was the pitching we were going against was a little bit wild at times. So we did a really good job of being patient, not helping out a struggling pitcher, but when we needed to, getting a hit. When they got the ball in over the plate, getting a hit out of that. On the fielding side, on the defensive side, we had 3 pitchers work tonight, which was really good. We actually only gave up 1 hit and 3 runs in the last. And we have talked throughout the season of where knowing what to do before the play happens. The hit that we gave up, really where we've been playing, they actually hit to where we have been. So we should have had a chance to make a play on that ball. We didn't. We let it drop because we're kind of out of position. We get the ball in as quick as we can. Right fielder runs over. Great job getting the ball in. We get the ball in, and then we kind of hesitate on what we need to know, what we need to do with the ball at that point. So those are things that we can still work on. And so I'm really happy with the way that we played. We had putouts in the field. We had strikeouts. We were really efficient pitching. We had our first pitcher threw 42 pitches, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. Our second pitcher, the first time in a live action or competition game because of some injuries and some absences and everything. So 16 pitches, 1 strikeout, 2 walks. And then we bring in our third pitcher, 6 pitches, and a strikeout, and that gave up the hit. And like I said, that hit in another year or so is a routine fly ball to the outfield that we're catching, and we're getting out of this game. And so we played really well. We had some good throwdowns to second and to third. We almost had a tag out at third. A great job coming off of the bag and looking for that play. We had a really good play, really good assist from first to put out at assist from second base for the put out at first. So we're playing really well. We bounced back really well. And I'm excited. I'm excited that we played the way that we did at the plate. I'm excited we pitched the way that we did, and I'm excited it ended the way that it did because when we allowed the hit to drop, and kind of hesitated, and we allowed 3 runs to score when really potentially we could have made that catch, gotten out of the game. It drops. We should have really limited them to 1 on that if we got the ball in, we did what we needed to do. I'm excited we that it happened the way that it did because then it gave an opportunity to talk to the boys about, look, this is what happens when we are kind of resting, when we are not concentrating, we're not finishing out a game. We have to finish every game that we play. We have to finish every game. It doesn't matter if the other team could come back. We need to finish every game. We need to finish the plays because again, We're not talking about wins in one season or wins in one game or what we're going to do this season or what we're going to do in the tournament coming up or if we make up our last game. Really, what we're talking about is the process and the process of learning how to play. And part of that is we talked heavily today before the game about the process of getting up to bat. What you do when it is your turn to bat, the concentration you have, the thinking you have to have that goes into that. And at practice we'll be able to talk about the concentration of finishing games in the field. And that's something that we have to be able to do. We have to be able to finish games in the field. And also, we're at a position in the season, not because it's the end of the season or everything as far as wins and losses, but we're at a point in the season where we are learning enough to where we can handle if we make a mistake. We can handle being told if we make a mistake and talking about that mistake. Again, I hope the players know that we care about them, and that's why we're talking about these things. And we got on them. I got on them a little bit about kind of falling down at the end and not concentrating and not finishing things at the end. And that's good. That's good. Hopefully they know I care about them. That's why I'm doing it. And so that's something that they can learn from again if they keep playing baseball, if not out of this game as well. And so it was a really, really exciting game, really, really good output. We'll see what happens next. As I said, I don't know if we're making up this next game. I'll keep everybody posted. If not, if we are, then we're making up a game maybe even as early as the weekend. I don't know, or if they're going to push back the tournament even more. I don't know what's going to go on, but or otherwise the next game could be the tournament, our tournament game for us. So we'll keep everybody posted for that. Yeah, we have time for one question. Yeah, in the back. Yeah, yeah. A question about the process again, and I talked to last week extensively about what our expectations are for the rest of the year, what our expectations are for these next couple games that we're going to play possibly, is the process. The outcome is not the or the end outcome is not the expectation. The expectation is the process that we go through. The process when we are out in the field that we are thinking what we need to do before the ball is hit. That way, when the ball is hit, we just react to it. We didn't do that at the end of the game tonight. And that's why we had that's why we had the talk that we had. And that's why we had the kind of talk we had after the game. Because we didn't do that. We, but we learned from that, and that's really, really important. We were able to learn from that. I think we're gonna move forward. We're gonna do some different things with that. The other expectation is when you go up to bat, we talked a lot before the game about taking your time. And today we have had multiple kids that struggle with looking for the signs before they get into the box. And everybody's rushing into the box and we're ready to hit. And we talked about, hey, you do that, you're giving control over to the pitcher. As soon as you get in the box, the pitcher could technically throw the ball. You have to be ready, then you have to get into the box. And when you get into the box, you got to be ready to hit. And tonight, multiple occasions, I saw kids who had struggled with this start to walk into the box and then step out real quick. And so you can see that they are learning and they're moving through this. They're maturing as baseball players. They're thinking the game, and that's really, really fun to see. That is really, really fun to see from a coach's perspective. And then the other thing we added tonight was specific to the pitchers and catchers. We started having our catcher give signals to our pitcher. And it's number one the whole time. One means fastball. All the kids are overthrowing their fastballs. But we want to get them into the habit of, if you're the catcher, giving a signal every time. If you're the pitcher, finding that signal, looking at it, shaking your head that you agree with it, take a breath, and then throw. It kind of helps us with our rhythm. It helps us to slow down the game a little bit if we need to slow it down. It also helps us to get into a rhythm if we got a good thing going, if we've got a good rhythm going at that point. And so we'll continue to work on that over these last couple games or however many we're going to play. Like I said, we'll keep people updated on if we're making up the last regular season game that was originally planned, or if we're going straight into tournament play. We should know something tomorrow if we're doing that or not. But we're at the point where next week looks like there's going to be a lot of rain also. So I'm not sure the decision might just be we just got to go with 11 games and go into that tournament. And if that's what it is, that's fine by me. If we're making up that last game, that's also fine. We'll get some more work in. We'll get some more kids into positions to get them work where we need to get them work. So great game tonight. I'm really excited to see what we're going to do, how we're going to finish this off, and how we're going to finish the process and the process of learning. So, really fun tonight. Great job. The kids are doing really well. They're at the point also that if they make a mistake, they know the mistake. They know the instant they make the mistake. We had a couple times where we swung at pitches out of the zone tonight, and I'm looking over at them at first, giving them kind of a look of, well, that was out of strike zone. They're giving me the look right back. They're like, I know, coach. I know. That was out of the strike zone. Should have done that. Um, that is so important for learning. That the kids are able to recognize when they do something well, recognize when they make a mistake and how to correct that mistake. It's so fun to see that. Been a really fun year seeing all the learning, all the growth come out of these players. And so really fun night. Thanks everybody.